Welcome, my friends, to another episode of the Far Post podcast presented by Esports Gaming League. Got to be honest, gaming seems like a great way to beat the heat right now because it is hot outside. I'm Jeff Lemieux, and I am sweating profusely. Less to do with the heat, more to do with the fact that I am grossly out of shape. I'm joined by my co-host, Elizabeth Pehota, who's in a lot better shape than I am. She runs marathons. Elizabeth, how are you beating the heat? Because it is pretty warm outside.
I'm not running outside, I'm telling you that much. I'm staying inside, working out inside, and trying not to leave as much as I can so I can stay easy.
That's a smart move. It's an indoor kind of week.
Yeah.
Well, with us today on the podcast is the man who, I got to be honest, has probably appeared on this show more than anyone else. And pretty soon, it's likely that he will have appeared on the field more than anyone else in New England Revolution history. It's Andrew Farrell. Andrew, how are you, man? Thanks so much for being on the Far Post podcast for like the 20th time.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys always giving me this platform to, bring out my great ideas and crack my bad jokes. But yeah, Elizabeth Pehota is in way better shape than both of us. So we can get out of the way. It's really hot, but I'm glad to be here.
How
not
is
true,
it that you're
Andrew,
beating
not
the
true.
That's true. What are you saying?
How is it that you're beating the heat today?
Just a lot of water and Gatorade, and staying inside and watching the herd on TV and just relaxing, just getting getting ready for this big game on Saturday. So, yeah.
Yeah. How have the training sessions been this week? Because there's a balance. I understand that it's the summer months. So you guys are going to be playing in the heat. There are going to be some games where you're going to have to play 90 minutes in the heat. So you got to get used to it. But it's like, we're not talking 85-degree heat this week. You talking like 95, 96, 97-degree heat.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you go too hard, you potentially end up tying yourself out ahead of Saturday. Like, how have you kind of approached training this week? Have the sessions been any shorter to kind of deal with the heat?
Well, it's just the other days was a little bit lighter of a practice. Today we picked it up a little bit. And no, I mean, I think it's a little bit shorter, but just make things sharper. So we're not having to be out there as much time, but just like getting what we can out of it when we're out there. But yeah, just a lot of, water and fluids on the field and just sweat and just getting through it. And then cold showers.
You've mentioned a lot of water. Is that something that the coaches have been harping on? I feel like I've seen like water bottles everywhere this week.
Yeah, I think just it's important. You realize how much water you're losing like out there, but especially when it's super, super warm like that, you just got to keep on, you don't want to get dehydrated or, get heat exhaustion or anything like that. So I think guys are just, getting ahead of the curve and just like getting the fluids in there, which I usually tend to like kind of do. I don't drink as much water, but this week it's very needed.
Now, I know a lot of times in training, just to make up for numbers, the coaches will hop in. Like you see Dave Vandenberg in there quite a bit, Richie Williams, Shalry Joseph, who this week has been in Dallas coaching the U15s to the MLS Next Cup semifinals. But this week, with it like 95, 96, 97 degrees, are Richie and Dave jumping in training this week?
No. Well, luckily we got good numbers, so they don't have to. But I don't know if they would have. We might have to call some ambulance out there if they jumped into practice. This week's been really hot, so I don't know if they would have necessarily helped out. It would have been maybe a number down.
Can you consider calling Jeff in?
Yeah, we might have to one of these days. You guys both have to jump in one of these days. That'd be fun.
If you ever need someone to lie down behind the wall, I can do that. I might not even be able to stay upright for that long, but I can lie down behind the wall.
And you got to make sure you face the goal. Don't face I see sometimes people face like the goal, like the ball, and I'm like, well, you don't need to see the ball. Like, no. It makes no sense.
Like, what are you going to do? You're not going to make yourself any bigger if you see the ball coming. It's not going to do you any good.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
Makes no sense, but yeah.
It also, I mean, I'm waiting for the first time that actually works. I don't think I've seen anybody try to go maybe guys aren't trying to go under the wall because the guy's
I guess,
there.
Yeah.
But so I guess if it works effectively, no one's ever going to try to go under the wall.
Underneath the wall. But, yeah. I guess that's
all right. Well, Andrew, the reason obviously we asked you to be on this week's show in particular is because this past Sunday night in Dallas, you hit a milestone previously reached by only 3 other New England Revolution players. The aforementioned Shalry Joseph, your former teammate Diego Fagundes, and another former teammate of yours, Matt Reese. You played your 250th regular season game in a Revolution jersey on Sunday. And as someone who was there, the day that you were drafted in, I think, Indianapolis in 2013.
Yeah.
You still feel like a rookie to me. Does it feel like 250 appearances for you?
It doesn't feel like it. But I mean, it does. The body, it feels like it to the body, but for me, it doesn't feel like it. I feel like I got a lot to learn, and I still have the same drive and same passion I did when I was, my rookie year. So in that sense, I don't, but I don't feel like it. But yeah, it's been a long time, Jeff. It's been a good 9 year, 8.5 or 8 years and counting. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. There's some moments obviously you wish you could forget, some moments that you wish you could go back to and relive them again. But no, it's been great.
Andrew, at what point in your career would you have started to consider yourself a veteran? Because you're clearly a veteran on the team now. Like you said, your 9th season, but I feel like there's got to be a turning point, because when you first started, you were in the starting lineup, but like you're a rookie and early on. So like what season did you kind of feel like, all right, I have some ownership of the team, I'm a leader in the locker room, and I'm kind of like reaching that veteran status?
That's a good question, because I feel like it really wasn't until maybe this year, or maybe a little bit of last year. I think we've had some good leaders on our team and guys who've kind of stepped into that role and who've been older than me, maybe not necessarily been on the team as long, but just, they came in and it was kind of brought in to be kind of leaders. And so, I mean, I should have tried to help out and, say things here and there that I could do, but not until probably this year, where I feel like, it's more of it. I can make more of a difference, whether it's, translating, helping guys out on the field, helping guys off the field, guys look up to me. Yeah, so probably not until necessarily this year, I guess, until Bruce came in and kind of, we had a conversation about that, that I kind of felt like I could maybe be a veteran kind of presence.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. There's sort of this dichotomy, because we make jokes. You're at 250, 4th most appearances in Revolution history. You're pretty close to being the all-time Revolution appearance leader. You hear those numbers and you kind of think like, oh, Andrew Farrell's an old man. You just turned 29 years old. Obviously still pretty young, even in terms of professional athletes. So how much, I mean, I know you say you've played 250 games. The body starts to feel it after a while, but how much soccer you still got in front of you? You just turned 29.
Yeah, I hope a lot. I mean, I still love playing, and, hopefully I can keep on, playing well enough that, I get my name called and I get to play. But at some point it's going to come where, you're not playing every game and being able to play at that level. And so I think that's like that's the kind of in your mind, is like, when will that hit? And then what can you do to, whenever you do get your chance, you play and you play well, and what other things can you add to the team, whether it's obviously from a leadership role, kind of mentoring, being a hype man, kind of that stuff, where it's like you still bring value, even though you're not, playing day in, day out, but you can still bring value to a team and an organization. And so I still do those things, but I'm not to that point where I don't think I can play and produce it day in, day out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on play. I'm gonna play until I can't play anymore, because I still love playing. I still love this team, and obviously if they'll have me, I'd love to stay here for a long time. But only time will tell. You never know what can happen. But hopefully, I stay healthy and can keep on playing.
Well, as you look at the all-time MLS appearance records, I think Nick Rimando had the all-time record, 514. Beckerman had the record for field players, 498. So I think to get there, you probably just got to start like 30 games a season for another 8 or 9 seasons or so. So
yeah,
do that, right?
It's tough. That's gonna be tough. These are regular season, right? So they didn't probably add in those like playoff games. That doesn't
because for you, you've played close, including Open Cup and playoffs and everything. You've played close to 300 games. But the records all are only regular season, which that's a whole other conversation, why playoff games don't count in appearances. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's absurd. Those are the most important games, but that's like a whole other hour-long podcast.
Yeah.
But this is only regular season appearances.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's a lot of games.
It is.
Not gonna lie, that's a lot of games. But you never know. Like I said, you never know. I'd obviously love to play that many more games. But we'll see.
Andrew, was your dad down in Dallas coming out for the 250th?
Yeah, they came. They went to go visit my papa, my dad's dad, and his wife June, down in Dallas, and then they came. They brought him over to the hotel just right before or the night when we got in. So when we get in Saturday night, so I got to see or Saturday day, yeah, day in the day. Or no, I guess evening, whatever. So I got to see them down there, and then they came to the game. So my dad's from Dallas, so we got a bunch of family down there. So a couple of my cousins and uncles went to the game as well. So yeah, they were there. Obviously, wish the result was better, but good thing about professional sports, we got another game coming up, so can watch the tape, get over that one, and get ready for a big one against Columbus on national TV.
I love how supportive your family is. I feel like they're always hyping you up on Twitter. You talk about being someone's hype man, and like I feel like it must run in your family.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. They they also need to, we're not getting to it, but they also need to. They're good on Twitter, but sometimes they like. Obviously, if you have a bad game, people don't like that, and so then my parents are always gonna stand up for you, and they always like, oh, this so and so said this, so and so. I'm like, Mom, it's part of sports, it's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, they're your parents. That's what they're there for.
Yeah,
exactly.
Honestly, your parents go to so many of the road games. I feel like every time I walk into a road hotel, there are the Farrells in the lobby. How of 250 regular season appearances, how many games would you estimate your family has actually been at?
Like both my parents with me, like a family.
Just member. Like a family member.
I would say 250. Like 150 maybe. I don't know.
It's like more than half. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
That's impressive. That is dedication. I mean, granted, amazing. You're their kid. Obviously, they're dedicated, but like that is dedication.
Yeah. Well, they weren't around too much when I was in high school. They were always traveling with work and stuff. Well, they were around, but like they would also they'd be obviously working and traveling all over the world. So I guess they're making up.
Now the travel's to see you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, your parents were a huge influence on you growing up, but I want to go back to your early years with the Revs. We talk about you as a veteran now and kind of being a mentor to younger players. When you were 20 years old and you were a rookie in 2013, who were the players on that 2013, 2014 Revolution roster who were kind of the biggest influences on you when you were a younger player learning the ropes?
There's a lot of guys. Obviously, Matt Reese, Chris Tierney. I say AJ Soares just because I played on the back line with him. Clyde Sims. He actually took me out to get my first legal drink at Bar Louie. No, not Bar Louie. What's the other one? The one that Legacy place. Not Bar Louie. It's Yard House. Yeah, for my first.
I was gonna say Yardstick for a second. I was like, Yardstick.
My first game, Clyde Sims, and we lived close to each other. So yeah. Who else? Bobby, Kevin Olsen, Darius. Even Teal after he came in 2014. He had been in the league for a while. So all those guys. A little bit, some pieces of knowledge, experience, just like being a friend. All that kind of helps out, makes the transition easier, and they help so much.
What's AJ Soares up to? Do you ever keep in touch with AJ Soares? I haven't heard from AJ since 2014 when he left.
I talked to him a little bit. He just always he sometimes watches a couple of our games. Says like, "Congrats, a good play," or like, "That was a nice play." But he has 2 kids now.
Had no idea.
Wow. So cute. I think he's in San Diego. He's over in LA. I think he's maybe working for his dad's company in San Diego, not LA, but in California. I think it's in San Diego though. But I think he's doing well. Great guy.
I love
so much personality. It just such a good guy. Such a good player too.
Yeah, I mean, a shame, honestly, that his career ended earlier than it should have due to head injury. I loved having AJ on that team. You knew you were going to get all the heart and all the hustle all the time.
All the time.
One of those other guys who was on that team when you were, I think, just your second year in the league was Shalry. So he was your teammate for a little bit towards the end of his career. Now he's on the coaching staff, or he's officially the U15 head coach, but he's out at first team training all the time. What was Shalry like as a teammate, and what's he like now as a coach? Because I think fans are probably really interested and kind of Shalrie Joseph as a coach, because they know him as this absolute beast on the field, just dominating games for 90 minutes. So to see him on the sidelines, especially with the U15s, it's kind of this really interesting kind of character.
Yeah, no, obviously as a teammate, he was obviously fiery. I think it was obviously at the end of his career, but still, like whenever he trained, he gets stuck in the tackles. He would, the experience that flows from like just even like little conversation on the field or in the locker room, you gain so much knowledge. But as a coach, he still brings that playful kind of side to it and can get after you and joke about stuff. But then there's teaching moments, and obviously he's done a great job with the U15s. But I think it's more. They always say like some of the greatest players don't actually turn out to be the best coaches. But I think for him, he just knows how to like describe the game so well. It's very easy to he can just tell you what he sees, what things he sees in you that you can improve on. What's see this pass, see that pass, like so. But like sometimes for some people it's hard to get that message across, and for him it's very easy, and he can do it. Whether it's like, hey, you need to be looking this pass, or he can joke about it, and so he brings both sides of that. And I think that's, as a coach, that's amazing. You have to relate to different people, players, personalities, egos, whatever it be, and he can do that.
It's funny. I feel like out at training, you can hear him when he's on the sideline. A lot of the time, he's kind of talking to himself. He's constantly talking throughout training and saying what he sees.
Yeah,
but it's not like he's shouting it on the field, because obviously he's not technically a first team coach in those moments. So I think he kind of knows his place, but I know he's having those conversations with guys afterwards, because he's constantly talking to himself while training is going on.
Yeah. It's he like, pull you aside and say, he'll see something, and no one else will see it. And then it's something that can help you out and get you ready for whatever the next game is, or I'm sure he watches the game. So, okay, hey, we're playing Red Bulls. Like, this forward likes to make these runs. Like, maybe have this in your back of your mind. So that kind of stuff, those little things that, make the biggest difference.
I know when we had you and Matt Turner on Instagram Live when we were in preseason in LA, Matt kind of talked about a sort of, welcome to MLS moment for himself a little bit with you guys on the training ground, where he had made a play that maybe you didn't like, and you kind of went after him a little bit, and it was kind of like a little bit welcome to MLS. Yeah. Do you remember any sort of kind of, welcome to the pros or welcome to MLS moment when you were a younger player, whether it was in training or in a game, we were kind of like, all right, this is a little bit of a different beast?
I think it was just like, training, like guys getting stuck in on tackles, like just tackles flying left and right. But in the game, definitely was playing against Henry, and just getting lost in the sauce on like certain plays. He just like make a run inside and dart back outside. And I was just like, I just lost him. Like, and it's just, so yeah, I mean, there's been probably playing against Henry the first time, just like, what is he doing? But obviously he's obviously world-class, player. So it was a awakening to pro sports.
Yeah,
that perspective. Oh, sorry, Jack.
Go ahead, Elizabeth. Go ahead.
Having that perspective, have you kind of seen any other players go through those sort of moments? Like whether because you mentor a lot of like younger players with like Kessler, Bell, Dwan Jones. So like, have you seen any of them kind of go through like that moment, like maybe in training with you?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's, for all those guys, I think they're so talented, and they're not thrown into it, but they're starting to play well. So they're doing well. And I think there's like moments in practice where it's like they kind of like maybe turn off, and it's like it's not necessarily like getting beat on the play. It's just like making a pass where it's like they don't hit it as hard, and so it gets turned over, or they don't close down the space fast enough, and someone gets by them. And it's like obviously they're all great players. Brandon, I think, is having a great season. DeJuan's doing great. Bell and Kessler, obviously great players, and gonna be, I think, the future for this team. That it's just like you can't turn off at any moment, because it's one play and it's a goal, and then you're down. So, but they're each. I was talking to Carlos that we drive to the airport together, and sorry, can you see me?
Let's say we lost your video. No, you're back.
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
Sorry. I think I had a low volume or a low battery. But anyways, I think that I even lost my train. I drive with Carlos to the airport, and we just talk about how much the growth, like how much they grow within couple 2 weeks of practice, how much they're improving and seeing different things on the field for all those guys. Tajon's another guy like that who's just jumping up the levels of growth in the play. So yeah, I mean, I try to help them out here and there, but they're gonna go the way they go, and they're gonna be great. All 5 of those guys, I guess, are the young core. Trying to think of who else. Adam's a young guy, another young guy. He's 24. Adam, 24.
I believe 24. Yep.
Jesus.
The youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those ages start to feel, they start to sound younger and younger and younger the older and older you get.
Oh, what you were born in 2001? What?
Yeah.
Wait, have you guys heard the joke where you go to the bar? Sorry, I'm going a little off topic, but you go to the bar and you go to like take out your ID to show someone, and they ask you for your license or whatever, and they're like, I don't need to see it. I can see the one from over here. And it's just like,
oh,
what?
No. Yeah.
Because everyone's 21 who's
Yeah. That actually is good. God.
Yeah, the fact that there are people just roaming around bars right now who were born in the year 2000, that can't happen. That can't be reality right now. That can't be where we are.
Boomers, like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. I see 21-year-olds in the bar. I'm like, are you 7?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Seriously though.
All right. Well, Andrew, the reason that you're at 250 appearances at 29 years old, which is young to be hitting 250 appearances, is because you've been a consistent starter throughout your entire MLS career from day one, March 9th, 2013 at the Chicago Fire. I shouldn't know the actual date opponent of, but that's what I do. I guess that's how long we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Since day one, you have been a consistent starter, 30 plus appearances for your first 6 years, 29 appearances in 2019. You had 20 last year in a year in which there were only 23 games. So I think what people don't see is, the work that goes in behind the scenes to keep yourself fit and ready to play 30 plus games a season. And, always in the, every time I get into the training center pretty early, you're usually already there. You're in the gym working out, or you're in the cold tub, or you're in the hot tub, you're getting treatment. I'm like, what is your routine to keep yourself ready to play that many games a season? And how has it kind of evolved over the course of your career from, 20-year-old Andrew, who probably could just run all day regardless of what you did, to 20-year-old Andrew, who probably has to keep himself a little bit more ready?
Yeah. It's definitely changed over the years. And I think as you get older, you have to change things to, keep that same energy. I think, but I guess you said the first couple of years, I just was like, I'm excited. Let's go. And I'm still excited. I still have that. I think that the biggest thing for me and why I get to play not get to play so much, but I get the opportunity to play and I'm ready. And it's just because I'm excited to be there. I'm always going to bring it energy. I'm happy to be there. Even if, we lose 10 games in a row, I'm still going to be going hard in practice. And obviously now, keeping the body right, I'll get in at 8, get the hot tub in, and I do like a little bit of core work, a little bit of upper body, a little bit of bike, and then stretch, foam roll. And just, I try to stay out of the treatment room unless I need, I think I got a couple massages in preseason, but I feel like if I get in there, then I'm gonna pick up something. So I try to stay away, even though those guys are great. I try to stay away from that room. But seriously, in my mind, I'm like, if I can stay away out of that room, then nothing's gonna happen. Everything's gonna be fine. Knock on wood. I kind of just do that every day, and I'm just excited to get to practice and see everybody. Put a smile on my face, not smile on your face. Put a smile.
You put a smile on our faces
and get ready to work. I think there's only a certain amount of time that you get to do this, and so I'm just gonna go full out until I can't go anymore, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do next.
I was gonna say that does seem like one thing that would kind of extend a career, is just that joy for the game. You are someone who, throughout your entire career, it seems like every time you are on the field, you are enjoying every moment that you're out there. Mm-hmm. Kind of where do you think that joy comes from? Like, kind of where did that originate? Just that absolute pure joy for the game.
I don't know. Obviously growing up in Peru and playing and just like being able to play, I wanted to play at all times. And I think most of my friends I made most of my friends through soccer. So I think just I've always wanted to play, love to play, whether it's pickup. Off season, I love playing pickup. So if anybody, the fans, want to play on the off season, Hopefully it's a short off season after we go all the way. But I love playing, and I sometimes miss being able to like just play pickup. Like, even obviously training's fun, but like just playing pickup with your friends and back home is always a great time. But yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I just enjoy playing, kick a ball around, compete. I love to compete.
I feel like that sort of sentiment kind of translates to your personality too, because you can see you're competitive with like your Fortnite games and things like that when you're competing and posting on social, but also like in the locker room, as far as, I don't want to say pranks, but like, kind of like stirring guys up and like, having some fun.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, with like Polster, I'm gonna give him a shout out. I like get after him and like give him a hard time. Tajon, I was getting after Tajon today. So yeah, just I think keeping that energy. I think that energy is very important on a team, and so yeah, just you pick and choose when you can little pokes and stuff like that to kind of get the beehive buzzing, I guess, and so kind of get everybody kind of buzzing and get ready for practice. But not everybody is a morning person, or not everybody loves to practice. Like, everybody likes to practice, but like some guys might not be up for it, might have a couple bruises, and so you gotta get them kind of get them going a little bit.
You kind of skimmed over the fact that you were going on Tajon, but you got a little giggle in there. Where were you going at Tajon?
Oh yeah, I was just giving what did I say? We had a 6v6 tournament today, and I was just like telling him to play. Let's get after it. Like, let's go 1v1, and obviously my team won. We had a big team win. Me, Carlos, Scotty. We had Earl, Dewan, Ema, Polster. I think that's the name. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. But anyway, we got the win. But there's a controversial call where we're up 2-1 or we're up 1-0. I'm in the corner, like we're wasting time to like end the game, and the ref didn't blow the whistle. And I try to kick it out of bounds. Tajon steals it, and I pull him back. It wasn't even in the box. Like, it was outside the box. He goes down crying because he always goes down. Easy, kidding. And then it was like they won a PK. It wasn't PK. It should have been made a free kick, but the blue whistle game was over. Then he like kicked it into the goal, and they celebrated a tie. Him and Kessler were like, "Oh, tie, okay, tie," and we actually won, and we won 3 games, tied 1, a different game. So yeah, but
this is official. Like, you just told the fans, so no one else knows anything otherwise.
Yeah, basically. But me and we were going at me and Tajon were going at it. So I told Turner. Actually, never mind. Yeah, whatever. I told him to get him out of quarantine. I said Tajon was in quarantine because he was locked down on the field. We locked him down. So I said, yeah.
Who was the referee who wouldn't blow the whistle? Who's just letting extra time?
Richie was on the other side. It was hot out there though. So
yeah,
it's tough to see what was going on, but yeah, it's a good time.
Andrew, would you do stuff like this in your like rookie season too? Like, have you always kind of been stirring the beehive, like you say, or did you kind of grow more into it?
I think I grew into it, but I did it here and there. But I also knew like when not to do it. There was one time. Because, like, obviously, if you're in the 11, sometimes you play the game, you don't practice as hard, whatever, the next day back, like the Monday.
Yeah.
So, but the other guys who aren't training play, like, intense games. And so, like, I was, like, kind of, like, I made, like, a comment about something on the field, and Andy Dorman, like, let me have it. Well, he didn't let me have it, but he was just like, hey, you, like, just can't be, like, joking around. Like, guys we're like, trying to get after it. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, obviously, they want to be playing, and they want to be starting, and I'm just like kind of like joking around, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can't do that. That makes complete sense. They're trying to work too, and so I wasn't as much of a jokester like on the field really. Sometimes like there's moments, but yeah.
Okay, so kind of grew into it.
Grew into it.
Yeah, and obviously you have your teammates who you're going to kind of have those little back and forths with, and you're going to jab them, they're going to jab you. I'm assuming there are also teammates who like, this dude's not going to take it well if I jab him, so maybe I stay away from those comments. Yeah,
there's different guys who get tough skin. There's tough skin guys and there's mental midgets. So you gotta pick and choose, as Tia would say, mental midgets. You gotta pick and choose who you can go after, what days, like leading up to a game, like who can get after. So it's won't name names.
Well, speaking of Teal, I feel like he would probably never talk about it as much, but I feel like it's almost his teammates who would have to talk about it. As calm and level-headed and soft-spoken as Teal Bunbury is when you're just chatting with him, when he's doing an interview, he is one of the most competitive practice players I have ever seen. I mean, in terms of guys who will kind of snap into it in training, Teal is one of those guys who, like, you can tell he is serious when he's out there.
Yeah. He's competitive. And he knows, obviously, like, when he's out there, he's like there to compete, to get better, and to win. And so, he's one of those guys that you want on your team, always want on your team, but you don't want to play against him in practice because he brings it. He brings it every day.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about your joy for the game and being a hype man. I feel like a lot of the time that we see you getting fired up on the field, it's because Matt Turner made a big save. You know, nothing seems to fire you up like Matt Turner making a big save. And there was obviously big news for him on Wednesday afternoon as he was named to the 23-man roster for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Widely expected to be the starter throughout that competition. If he's not, we're going to have some serious issues on our hands. How hard are you going to be cheering for Matt Turner and that U.S. national team at this summer's CONCACAF Gold Cup? You take your time, think about your answer, and get back to us. Oh, there we go.
That's amazing.
Hey.
Wow.
I got the gold ones. Yeah, I got the Turner. Well, you can't see it, but it's Turner. It's just
we
upside
can see
down.
it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for Turner. I'm pretty pumped. He's deserved it. He's earned it. He deserves it. I know he's pretty pumped. He's not. I'm sure he's gonna. He's pumped. He's obviously, but he wants to keep it level-headed but he's gonna do great. They're gonna win it. I'm calling it. Turner's gonna make all the saves. He might even score 2 goals. And I'm pretty pumped for him. He like I said, he deserves it. He's worked so hard for this. And he's gotten to a point where he's, if not the best, but one of the best goalies in ML. I think he's one of the best. I think he's top 3, and he's not 1 or not 2 or 3 goalies in the MLS. And obviously pushing for the number 1 spot for the U.S. men's national team. So excited for him, and obviously congrats, Matt.
Are you going to wear the jersey, or is that going to be more of like a centerpiece while you're watching? Like,
it's going to be a centerpiece while I'm watching. It's going to be a centerpiece. I'm not. It's a long sleeve. It's too hot. Even inside with AC, it's too hot to wear long sleeves. Yeah.
Now, where is that jersey from? Like, what was that? Was that one of the jerseys he had in camp for one of the games?
Yeah, I was trying to get the one that he saved from in Orlando, but I don't
wasn't
think
giving that one up.
I don't think, or maybe it was. I don't know. It's one of the camps. It's pretty sick though. I was gonna ask them to sign it so I can sell it. No, I was kidding. But I need them to sign it so I could put it up on. I'm gonna put it up or something, or maybe I don't know.
I mean, the green goes right with your background right now at the leaf. You can put it somewhere around there.
Put it up there.
Now,
look at that.
Do you obviously you saw Matt Turner for years before kind of the general public and Revolution fans saw him? And do you ever remember a point watching Matt Turner in training when he was the 3rd string goalkeeper, and you're seeing him in training every day, and you kind of had a thought like, I don't think this dude's going to be a 3rd string goalkeeper for his entire career. Like there might be something kind of special here.
Yeah. I mean, just his shot stopping ability. Like obviously the 3rd goalie does a lot more of the dirty works and getting the shooting drills and that kind of stuff. And there was days where it just no one would score on him. Which hardly ever happens, and he was just obviously because he's 3rd string, so he's going all out on all the saves. So he's going down to the right, getting back up, going down to the left, the stuff that obviously he does now. And I was like, he's once he gets it all, put together, he's gonna be good. And obviously he's gotten so much better with his feet, his distribution. Credit to Kevin and Hitchy. I said Kevin Hitchy, and his coaching staff, and obviously Remy and all those guys for getting him here into the Revolution organization, and credit to him for just working hard and just being tall and lanky, and that's and
that is step 1. It is it's an important step. It's obviously not the whole thing, but it's an important step.
It's an important step. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have the tall or lanky thing going on. Goalkeeper was not in my future, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's okay.
Andrew, I know that you and Matt have been close for a long time, even before he became the number 1 spot, but, and obviously you're close with all your teammates every year, but you guys had a close relationship even before he was starting for the group. So how much more fun was it to kind of see his quote unquote Cinderella story come to life, knowing the quality of a person that he is before getting the opportunity to really show it on the field?
Yeah, it was awesome. Just, you obviously want your friends to succeed. And so, you know, and you could see that the excitement of him every time he, you know, got a chance to play or, you know, have a good day of practice. He was pretty, I mean, he's still pretty low key about, you know, being excited for things. But I think now with how balanced his life is now, I think he's feeling more confident in himself. Not like cocky, but just like very confident in how he carries himself. So yeah, pretty obviously pumped to see the growth and how well he's done, but it's always good to see your friends, you know, succeed and do well, because it makes you feel like, you know, good and you can support them. And so, yeah, we're obviously going to be rooting for him all the way. And yeah, hopefully he's rooting for me as well. But yeah, I think we're all rooting for him, and it's good to see how much he's grown on the field as well as off the field. And I think that balance was important for him to get to where he is.
Speaking of confidence, there was a play in the Dallas game, the first half of the Dallas game, which they pointed out on the broadcast, where Dallas kind of broke in. It was sort of a 2-on-1, and you were tracking back, and Dallas attacker, I can't remember who it was kind of angled in at the near post.
Farrell.
And you just took the man across the middle and left the shooter to Turner. And they talked about it on the broadcast. They're like, what supreme confidence to be like, I'm going to take the pass. I'm not even going to try to cut off his angle, because you got him. Like, you got the shooter. It's fine. And obviously he came up with the save. Yeah. But they actually pointed that on the broadcast. Like, what confidence to have in your keeper to just be like, you got it. Yeah.
Well, for that play, we literally watched it again, because after the play, we talked about it. Because I talked with Matt, we talked about like certain things in the game, at halftime, after the game. And I thought I was way more on the inside. We watched it today in film, and like, I'm like, what am I like? Why am I like? Because I'm giving him the near post and giving Turner like that space to make the save. But I'm supposed to be like cutting off. Like, I usually do cut off half the goal. So like sometimes like in Nashville, that John Cadiz hit the post and Matt has the near post. I can give him the near post because Turner can save that. And we talked about that. Like, Farrell, give him the angle so I can see. But like, I was like not even close to cutting off the back post. So I don't even know what the heck I was doing. Like, we watched it today and I was like, what am I doing? It was actually like,
Did
that truck just go through your apartment?
I think it was my apartment. I'm not going to lie.
But yeah.
Through the headphones.
But yeah. So that was, I have supreme confidence in Turner, but I didn't have that much confidence when I gave him the whole back side of the goal.
Well,
I cut it off, but
you'll be happy to know they played it on the broadcast. Like, you knew exactly what you were doing. You were cutting off the pass. You were leaving it to Turner to make the save. No. I get you probably wanted to cut off a little bit more of that back post as well.
Way more of the back post, yeah. But I do give him that near post, because in case I don't want to cut off. Use that one. Yeah, if there's not a guy there, if someone behind me, then I can go and I'll just cut it all off. But usually I give him that near post. Turner's got the near post, and anything across I block or
Well, they played it up on the broadcast for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, they didn't play it up on the video today. Yeah,
not quite as forgiving in there.
Yeah.
Well, finally, obviously the other side of Matt Turner going off to the national team is obviously you're going to be without him in New England during the month of July, it's a great story for Matt. Obviously, it's an awesome opportunity for him, but you'll be missing one of the top goalkeepers in the league for a month. But look, this is the situation. This is why you have 3 veteran goalkeepers on your roster. Brad Knighton has played a lot of games in Major League Soccer. Earl Edwards has been in this league for a long time. How confident is this group through the month of July with Brad Knighton and Earl Edwards backstopping the group?
Yeah, no, we're pretty confident. They've been obviously also getting games with the Revs too, here and there, getting obviously prepared for this moment. And yeah, either one of those guys can step up and fill in perfectly for Matt. We have confidence in him. I think that's why they brought him, kept Brad here, brought Earl in for this moment. And obviously we want to make their job easier, so we got to start playing better defensively. The last 3 games haven't been good enough, but obviously we have a big test against Columbus, like I mentioned before. But then, during the month of July, it's going to be important for us to keep this momentum going forward until Matt comes back. And sorry, my camera went away. And those guys will there we go. Sorry. And those guys will definitely help out with that. So we have supreme confidence in Earl and Brad to do the job.
You got a third keeper on the roster as well, now that I think of it.
Oh, yeah.
And Andrew Farrell.
Oh, yeah. I can step in if we I'll be the third keeper. I'll take all the shots there in practice. But, yeah, I could jump in there. So, Matt might not even have to come back.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Career. You didn't concede a goal, right? Concede goals against average of 0.00.
Yeah. What's up, Matt?
That's got to be tops in the league.
Perfect. Stats, Matt. Stats. Tell Matt.
All right. Well, it's a big summer coming up for Matt, obviously with the U.S. national team. As you mentioned, it's a big summer coming up for the Revs as well. You guys play 12 games between July and August. It's going to be a lot of soccer coming up. We're looking forward, Andrew, to watching you and the guys keep doing what you've been doing. Keep winning games, keep staying atop the Eastern Conference, and keep rolling things along.
That's the plan. We got to keep it moving forward.
All right. Well, Andrew, thanks so much for taking the time. Thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in to the Far Post Podcast presented by Esports Gaming League. We'll see you next time.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for putting up with my mechanical issues. Technical issues, not mechanical, technical, whatever. My internet issues.